Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. If you're on NBA Twitter or pay attention to sports in general, you often hear the previous generation of athletes talking about the current athletes saying they're too soft or they don't work hard enough or they don't care enough. Nothing out of the ordinary. Well, James Worthy, NBA Hall of Famer and Los Angeles Lakers legend, decided to give his 2 cents on the current state of the NBA. If you've been paying attention to the NBA playoffs the last couple of weeks, there haven't been many closer competitive games. It's been almost 2 weeks since a game was decided by 5 points or fewer. The margin of victory during the conference finals games have been 11, 25, 25, 9, 6, 9, 20, 10, and 13. In the game that was decided by 6 points, the winning team was up by as much as 27. So the games have not been entertaining to watch. During an interview on the Stoney and Jansen show, Worthy, a three-time NBA champion with the Lakers, was asked how he feels about how the game is played today and the heavy reliance on three-pointers. He spoke on how the game has been diminished since players are either not going to college at all or only playing 1 year, he said. I mean, Kareem had 4 years with John Wooden. Michael Jordan and I had 3 years with Dean Smith. Isaiah Thomas had some years with Bobby Knight. So you learned the fundamentals. But it didn't end there. He continued, not only that you learn how to live, you learn how to balance your freaking checkbook in college. There's a lot of things. When you don't get that, guys are coming to the NBA who are not fundamentally sound. All they do is practice threes, lift weights, get tattoos, tweet, and go on social media. That's it. Oof. Tough words from the NBA legend, but I also think it's a little unfair. Players are being told by their coaches and analytics department to take more threes. What analytics have taught us is that threes, layups, and free throws are the most efficient shots you can take. While that can lead to some game to game variance, it sometimes that has also led to these teams to make it to the Western Conference Finals. But to say that all they do is practice three-pointers, lift weights, get tattoos, and go on social media, I think it is harsh. Today's athletes are more active and aware about the world around them than ever before. Many of them have their own businesses, clothing lines, schools, and nonprofit organizations. During the 1970s, when the NBA had a serious drug problem, would it have been fair for Bill Russell to say that all NBA players do today is dunk, fight, and get high? No. So while many of today's NBA players do have tattoos and they shoot a lot of threes, it's never fair to pigeonhole them. Well, I disagree with the person who made this article. Let's see who this person is. Noah A. McGee. Noah A. McGee sound like a little stick rider. All right, now listen. We've been telling you this for years, for decades. Everybody else has been telling you. Haven't we? Haven't we been telling you slow asses? Your slow asses. We've been telling you slow asses that look, the game is trash. It's trash. All they do is shoot threes. They tell you dunks, layups, and threes are the most. No, it's not. The most efficient shot is the layup or the dunk. The next efficient shot is the mid-range, you idiots. You goddamn bums. You goddamn idiots. God dang it, y'all stupid. Analytics, I said it on a video, has destroyed sports. The NFL. What used to be the best throw? The mid-range throw. The medium throw passes. The medium passes are the best throws. First, the easiest throw is the short pass. Then it's the middle of the field pass or the medium range passes. Then the long ball. That's how it is, you idiots. Guys, thank you, James Worthy. Thank you, James Worthy. Because these guys are idiots. They're idiots, I tell you. They dumb. And that's what I told you. Analytics has ruined the game of basketball. If a lot of these guys would play inside out, there's no more back to the basket players. You see, players back in the day, they played with their back to the basket because it's easier. It slows the game down. It was more about possession. Excuse me, I needed that. It was about possessions. It wasn't about who can score the fastest, who could put up the most points and all of this. No, it wasn't about that. What it was about was possessions and how you can score, how you can get things done. That was how it was done. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You guys are too busy stuck in this new age. Okay? It's time to grow up. It's time to start watching the game for what it is. The game is terrible. So I'm praying that Joe Dumars, now that he's here and everything, I hope that he can get the game back on track. Cause that's what we need. The game back on track. Thank you so much for saying that, Mr. James Worthy, Big Game James. Dude was a phenomenal basketball player, knew how to play the game the right way. He knew how to play it the right way. Much respect to him. For real, though. Okay, now, this is hypothetical. This isn't happening right now, but this is what we're hearing. While the New York Knicks linger in a non-playoff purgatory, fans have passed the time by playing general manager. Hypothetical trades have centered around Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose, accomplished arrivals from elsewhere who have struggled in blue and orange. But Julius Randle, one of the primary faces of the Knicks' brief resurgence in 2020 to 21, has remained untouchable in the eyes of some supporters. His departure could be one of the biggest moves the Knicks can make in the name of creating a victorious and sustainable path forward. Randle broke through as the NBA's most improved player last season, though some fans at Madison Square Garden wanted that I turned into a V if their in-game chants were any indications. Alas, Randle's retreat back to his usual numbers, falling back to his career norms in almost every major statistical category, was a huge part of the Knicks' lost campaign, one that came shortly after he received a 4-year, $117 million extension. The future now partly centers on how each side presses forward. Do the Knicks continue to label Randle an untouchable, or do they try to pull the plug? The latter option might have been unthinkable at this time last year, but might be the best way to move forward. Put aside for the moment the idea of shipping Randle off for a veteran asset, likely several moves away from entering the Eastern Conference contention. The Knicks will likely be better off spending this offseason building a consistent, sustainable contender. New York has the 11th overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft, but probably won't find a franchise changer there. Help thus arise from the other side of the country. Reports have surfaced that the equally star-crossed Sacramento Kings, in the midst of a league-worst 16-year streak of losing seasons, are willing to deal the 4th overall choice, perhaps tired of relying on rookies to reverse trends, especially with such a spotty track record. 2 of their last 4 first-round picks are gone. The Kings could look to turn to a veteran that can actually make a difference. Randle might be the perfect compromise. He's been at the forefront of the Knicks' plan, but maybe not built for New York. Reggie Miller and Stan Van Gundy seems to think that players want to avoid New York for various reasons. Such a hypothetical deal with the Kings ensures that Randle can make an impact in a low-stress setting, while the Knicks move themselves into position to find a young difference maker. Separately, the Knicks and Kings have sputtered. Together, their paths rebuilding could get a lot easier. So basically, Could you see Randall in Sacramento? I mean, I could. I mean, look, I wouldn't get rid of Randall. I know Knicks guys are gonna be like, no, we need to get rid of him. No. And everybody gonna say, like LB, hey man, we need Zion. No, you don't need Zion either. All you need is a point guard and a bench. If you get a point guard and somebody to come off the bench, get you a couple, maybe 3, 4 players that could come off the bench and come in and light up the board and do what you have to do, then the pressure won't be on Randall as much. And then that point guard will put Randall in better positions to get the ball. Because you got Randall running the damn point, that's not going to work. He can't score, then run the point. You got to do one or the other. That's why it worked, when you have a point guard. If they get a guy, they could go after Schroeder. They could go after Brogdon. They could go after Brunson. I mean, I would go after Brogdon. If they could get Malcolm Brogdon, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect to put there. Seriously. But the Knicks, all they need is a point guard, they need a center, and they need a bench. That's all they need. And they'll be fine. I mean, it's not rocket science. Like, it's not NBA 2K. Nobody's going to just accept Julius Randle. Julius Randle has shown that he mentally can't handle the toughness of the NBA. He can't mentally handle being a number one. And this is what James Worthy's talking about. A lot of these guys just get tattoos. They want to shoot the ball. They're so focused on Instagram, Twitter, and they're what people think about them. That's why a lot of these players are failing and they suck right now. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you love what you hear, you can donate to the page by going to the description box, hitting the Cash App link. You guys can donate whatever your heart's desire. Also, the super chat button works, as well as the super thanks button works. After you're done watching the video, you can press the super thank. But if the video's live or premieres, you guys can do the super chat. So thank you guys, man, for your love, blessings, and listening. We are out. Deezy.